Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning the Caribbean plantation system to show you systematic slavery throughout the Caribbean islands and how many people have missed it. And I'm going to try to be very short and specific with you. For example, if you look throughout most of the Caribbean islands and you see the people who have the wealth and you chase their family way back, you will see that many of these people, they came from families that owned slaves in these islands. And you will also realize all these systems that have been set in place is just a diversification of the plantation system, starting from the police force, the churches, the religion and the belief system, all of these things, the political system, all of these things were put in place from those who are running the plantation. And so, my brother, my sisters, you are the one who have to learn to think for yourself and think outside of the box to free yourself from the matrix. Now, in the time of COVID-19, many people were protesting and blaming their so-called governments, but they were just following orders because they are just the front men and front women, the real elite who is behind the whole scene. You're not seeing those people, but I want to say to you, those people have the same power that you have, and you have the same power that these people have. But in order for you to know that you have the same power and that there is no aristocracy, you have to be open-minded. And you have to be willing to learn. And you have to accept people who grow up and born among you, who've been given special gifts and special talents to shine in this world. That is why they will teach you to accept a prime minister, they will teach you to accept a pastor, but they will never teach you to accept a mystic. They would never teach you to accept a real free thinker. They would brand a mystic, a free thinker as a madman, as a crazy man. Don't listen to he lost his mind, because they don't want you to understand the highest office in this humanistic realm of living is you coming to know who you are. It is you coming to discover your invisible self and understanding the invisible world and how to walk from the invisible world to manifest your visible world, so you would not be dependent on others. You would only be dependent upon yourself, because you would discover your magical self, and you would use your magical self to give you everything that you desire in this world, because you would realize that your word is your wand. And so, throughout the whole Caribbean, there are many people who are pointing their fingers at their prime ministers and the president and blaming their prime ministers and presidents for circumstances in their lives, and they fail to realize about the law of cause and effect. You are the cause of everything in your life. And the effect that you was facing in the time of COVID, and they forcing on you to take the inoculation, it all had to do with the choices that you make in life and what your parents would have made in life, because they were the ones who encourage you and tell you to make sure go to school, get good grades, and then go look for a certain kind of job to fit and suit society and to look good in the eyes of society. But people who like me, who learn to think for myself, I realize that if you look at certain people that hold certain profession, they never become millionaires or multi-millionaires. You never see a policeman become a multi-millionaire. You never see a nurse become a multi-millionaire doing a 9 to 5. You never see it. So, my brother and my sisters, I'm saying all of this to say that they would have set up the plantation system in a different way. And many people are falling victim to the plantation system. For example, when they tell you that they're going to bring investors to build hotels and have this whole hospitality industry, Investors is just another name for slave owners, people who own slaves. Because why? Most people don't want to own their minds. I remember back a couple of years back, around 2012, around there, I walked off a job whereby I was a fitness trainer and one of the biggest resorts on my island. And I told them that I am not an indentured servant, neither do I have any kind of poverty or slavery mentality. And at that time, I wasn't as conscious as I am today. And all of that transpired when they had a white man who was a trainer like me, but he didn't know anything. And he admitted to me that he didn't know, because when I tell him, like, okay, this client is coming now, you have to give them yoga and so on. And he's telling me, you're the man. And I'm saying, no, you're the man. Because I would have already suspect that he didn't know, because I asked him a question the first time he came on the resort, and the answer he gave me, I know he didn't know shit. And they wanted us to feature him in their magazine as he's their trainer, this, that, because he's white and so on. And I used to be seeing the things that was happening around, because I never been around this kind of environment before. You know, I grew up in a predominantly black country, okay, where everyone is, you know, mostly black. And so there's where first I started to see how they look at the people and how they really treat the people in these resorts and so on, and how our people just stoop so low and how they just think. And I refuse was to be among them. And they talk to me, they say, well, okay, you wasn't happy, that is why you behaving like that. One of them said, let us go for a ride. He took me and he drove me all around the resort and tried to use psychology. And deep within, I'm laughing. I said, he think he could play a game with me. I said, I go play the game. And then, you know what? He's telling me to come back Monday because it was a Sunday and I must go by the HR, the human resource, and talk to them and tell them blah, 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 and so on. And I said, yes, I'll do that. I said, yes. And I leave and I go home. I say, he'll never see my face back on that resort. And he never did see my face back on that resort. And I'm saying all of this to say to people, it's time for you to wake up. It is time for you to accept change. It is time for you to stand up to your parents, your teachers, your politicians, all of those who brainwash you, are part of the brainwashing that keep you dependent on the system instead of dependent on yourself. Those who keep you looking to an outer economy when you have an inner economy that they don't want you to discover. Those who keep you to make you believe that physical money is real money when the real money is in you, because you are magnetic and electrical. And you have the real currency, because money was first a thought, it was first an idea, it was first imagined. You have to come to your senses and stand up against this kind of tyranny that wants to capture your mind and keep you in mental slavery. But the choice is yours, because you have to suffer the pain of they calling you a crazy man, a crazy woman. You have to suffer the pain of they saying blasphemy when you realize that the whole Jesus and Mary story is a brainwash to keep you in mental slavery. Everything has a price. Are you willing to pay the price to learn to think for yourself and live the best version of your life? The question is yours. So if what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you and it really resonates with you and you'd like to subscribe, I definitely encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. And if you'd like to know more about my work and what I've been doing to humanity, feel free to reach out to me. And if you'd like to have one-on-one with me, also feel free to do that, because that's something I'm doing and helping people all around the world. And this channel, I'm just trying to start to develop this channel to help the people in the islands, okay? Because most of the people who subscribe to the things that I teach and the things that I share, they're not even living in the islands. But I'm doing this channel to help the people in the islands be one of those who are willing and ready to think for themselves. So with that, I want to say peace. I'll see you in another video. I'm out.